broadcasting legend in his own mind. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It's game day. Eagles, Giants. We'll get into that. Nevada Nick is having a little issue, and so he'll be joining us in a little bit. So we'll get to that little issue shortly. And then after that, I have my broadcast partner. High school football starts here in Delaware. So my new broadcast partner, Dave, will be joining us. We'll do a little recap of, or I shouldn't say recap. We'll do a little pre-game with the upcoming game and how they look. And here he is. So here he is, Nevada Nick. How you doing?
Oh man, I got playing injured tonight. Not feeling too well. I don't know what happens. It's not all of a sudden just was like tired, not feeling good, stomach not good. So, but like I said, I play injured, so I'm here.
You sucked it up, Buttercup.
That's right. You're frozen right now too.
Yeah,
so,
I know. I see that. So let me see what happens.
Great. Yeah, let me see what happens if I do this and leave Nevada Nick on there all by himself, out in the cold with nobody here. Great job, Coach.
Hey.
It's like, let me do this and leave Nevada Nick here all by himself solo, not feeling good. I mean, literally, I got really cold too. It's so weird. Like I got a blanket on right now underneath. It's just
you got COVID.
Yeah, no, I don't have COVID. Don't say that. God.
So anyway, bad batch of Popeye's chicken.
It's a possibility. It could happen.
Is that what happened, man? That's because you don't go to Royal Farms. That's why. That's the problem, man.
Yeah.
So what's up, Ed? Yeah. So listen, let's get right into it because it's game time tonight. I don't want to get bogged down with stuff. I want to get into it. We'll recap a little bit of Game 2 World Series tied up
to.
A game apiece.
Right.
And then we'll get into Eagles Giants. And
okay.
We'll
and
go
real quick too. I'm sure Jason Dean knows, but they moved the Raiders game Sunday.
Yep.
Because they're worried. It's all about money, man.
Yep.
They don't want to not have a Sunday night game. So, and I was excited to see that Bucs Raiders game. I thought that was a good Sunday night game. Obviously, just in case for some reason the game were to be canceled because of COVID, they've bumped it from, I guess, the 8:15 game to the 4:25 game. Yeah,
so,
and to me, because somebody said to me,
the captain's not on tonight, so we don't have to hear him rant and the whole show with that Raiders stuff because it's game day. Giants Eagles, more important.
Right.
So we'll go with that. So,
yeah, but
Nick, I think after game 1, everybody thought, the Rays are just going to lay down. But
I said that. Remember, like everybody was crowning the Dodgers, and it was early. I'll tell you one person who Dave Roberts again. He didn't use one pitcher last night. Any of their good pitchers, in the bullpen or not. He almost was, I think, saying like, okay, hopefully these guys pitch good. Maybe the lineup gets me enough wins and I can steal a win. But he pitched that game to lose. I mean, like I said, he wouldn't go to any of his good relievers because he's trying to save them. But now you got Morton going, who, let me mind you, is 3-0 this postseason with a .41 ERA. So
it was important to win that game last night.
Right, yeah, you need to win every game. You can't, because he said, we feel good, we're 1-1 with our ace going, talking about Walker Buehler. And I think, obviously, yeah, you still got Kershaw too, but, are you counting on Kershaw? Yeah, he looked good one game. Doesn't mean he's going to look good next game.
Right.
This is a guy who had to miss game 2 of the LCS because of back spasm. So you never take a game for granted. I know you know that. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I mean, look, I understand if you don't want to go crazy with the relievers and just deplete your bullpen, but that's what I don't understand. It's like you got an off day today.
Right,
So
but you have that middle. Every bullpen has that guy to eat up some innings. If he gets in trouble in the third, the fourth, to get you to those guys at the back end of your bullpen. Everybody's got those. You could have put a guy in and used them, like you said. You got an off day, and you might not need him the next day. So
right. Yeah. So and look, you see it too. They were chipping away. Maybe if you bring a guy in earlier, they don't score 6 runs. And they were at one point where it was 6-4. I mean, now this is in the 8th inning, but still 6-4. Guy on second, no outs. I mean, you really should get that guy in 6-5.
Right.
Look, the Rays played the better game last night, but still, like I said, I've never been a big Dave Roberts guy, and yeah, you should feel good. You got Bueller twice. And you got Kershaw going in one. So in 3 of the next 6 games, or 5 games, excuse me, you got 2 good pitchers going. But still, Morton, this could be his swan song. Captain mentioned that last night. I'm not by no means am I marking tomorrow night as a W. I mean, with a guy pitching like he is, you're in for a tough game.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely. It'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes with that, and and there were some trades today in the NFL too. Before we get into Eagles Giants, we'll get in. Man, and Ndakwe is kind of traveling, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great move for Baltimore. To me, I'm surprised because look, these GMs know what teams need what teams may be more desperate, if you want to use the word, or more. Right. I mean, Seattle, when they went with Jamal Adams this year, and I brought this up just a day or two ago, I think they kind of told you we were all in. I know you don't want to give up a bunch of assets, but they only gave up a third and a fifth. So you're telling me if you're Seattle, I'd be putting Seattle on the line and saying, what are you going to give us? You going to give us a second next year? Because they got a third this year and a fifth next year. Whatever it may be. And I know, look, you gave up a lot for Adams. You don't want to deplete all your assets. But, the Seahawks have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year if they can shore up that defense a little bit. And he got 5 sacks in 6 games. 2 forced fumbles. So that's a game-changing player. And, the rich get richer for the Ravens. He's a good player. I can't remember. I don't think the Vikings traded much for him. Because he's on the franchise tag, right?
Right.
Yeah. So they probably made out because they know they're done this year. I think they're resigned to that fact. I'm just kind of surprised. I mean, I get it. You're only getting the control of the guy for 10 games. So what are you going to give up? But I'd have shopped it more. I'd have tried to go to Seahawks or somebody who needs a pass rusher. And look, now with the Ravens, like I said, the rich get richer. And now you're looking at a defensive line with Calais Campbell, who can still play, and then Ndakwe. And, they're going to be dangerous. It's going to be interesting to see how and, man, that the AFC North just gets better. And I'm really looking forward to the Steelers-Titans game this weekend. And when Steelers-Ravens play, as we know, there might not be a better rivalry in football. If you talk about over the last 15 years, I mean, the Steelers and Ravens have really battled and just tough games.
Right.
So looking forward to seeing that game this year as well.
Absolutely. That's going to be another good one. And since the Eagles and the Giants play tonight, we'll be able to watch a bunch of football, different games. And yes, we know we're getting to it. Yes, yeah. Des Bryant is, I believe he did sign to the practice squad pending his physical and COVID test.
What's he going to be able to do? I mean, honestly, Coach, and I know, but that's a strong locker room. I'd bring in AB before him just because maybe AB could actually do something for you. I mean, I know that team's good, Hollywood Brown, but if AB could play to 70% of what he was before, and let's say he doesn't bring any of the extra bullshit, that's going to help Lamar Jackson. I mean, he needs a bona fide weapon on the outside. I like Mark Andrews. I like some of the compliments there, but they could use a bona fide wide receiver.
I agree. I just think it's Marquise Brown is is more of a slot guy. You're right. It's not. They don't have an outside guy, but all the baggage that comes with AB is a lot. And I knew, but I'm sure that there are some other people out there other than Des Bryant, and but again, he's only on the practice squad. Doesn't mean that he's going to see the field.
Right.
Doesn't mean he's going to see the field. So we'll see how that works, because that practice squad salary is like paying him $10 an hour in our.
And look, Jason Dean, I agree with you. I think he's a clown too, but sometimes, maybe he's humble. You never know. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe
you forget he never really got a chance to redeem himself. He blew that Achilles down in New Orleans. He signed, and then that very second practice, he wound up.
That's Des you're talking about.
Yes, Des Bryant.
Yeah, well, we'll see what I was talking about. AB, obviously, I meant he never got a chance to. I don't. Not that he's had chances. I'm saying, maybe after not being able to find a team for over a year now, maybe he realizes, look, this is my last shot. And if I don't get my shit together, I'm done. And let me tell you this, John Harbaugh isn't going to let the circus come to town. And look, he has no rope. So, I mean, no strikes. One little thing, he's gone, done, bye. Nobody's going to give him any type of guaranteed money. So it's a proven thing. I mean, if I was the head coach and I felt we had a strong locker room where guys could handle it internally, but look, I get it too, because let's not forget on my Eagles, and that was a strong locker room, coming off a Super Bowl appearance, Dawkins, McNabb, and that split that team apart. So, it can go the other way too.
Absolutely. And I'm sure, I think, somebody might be calling him up too to play. Apparently he could still play too.
T.O.?
You got T.O., man.
Yeah, well. You know what I love? Everybody does these videos. Look, man, when you're in shorts and you're running around, these guys stay in shape. It's a lot different. And then you get on the field and your age will show. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. I always tell people, look, let me get in the car and I'll drive it like 25 miles an hour and let me hit you and let me know how that. Let me see you get up after that and do that workout.
And what's up, Angela? And no, Jason Dean, I agree with you. But talent in the NFL is a rare thing. And this is a guy who was Michael Thomas a couple years ago. That's who he was. He was the Michael Thomas of the NFL. I'm going to give you 115 catches, 15 touchdowns, 1,600 yards. Look, he did a lot of stupid things with the Raiders. I mean, he was a sideshow. Yeah, I agree with you. But, guys are going to take chances with talent.
Absolutely. And I just one other thing I got to bring up, honestly, because before we get to Eagles Giants, I got to, because it's too funny, because, OBJ is just the gift that keeps on giving, since he left New York. Did you hear his comment, Nick?
No.
He said that he has him and COVID have an understanding. He respects COVID. COVID respects him, so he's not going to get COVID.
Well, probably get it now.
Yeah, right.
I mean, because when you're in, and to me, that just sums up OBJ. And when you're like that, I mean, it's what happens.
And I'm tired of these guys on other networks trying to defend him. Oh, he just wants to win. I'm sorry. Yes, I agree. What guy gets out of bed and wants to lose? Okay. But it's different when you say that, oh, well, Tom Brady can do it. but he can't. Well, Tom Brady's on the sidelines doing it to his team. He's sitting at a press conference doing it to the media. Two different things when you're airing out laundry that way.
Right.
Tom doesn't get in front of the media and call people out and do that stuff. Totally different, and I don't buy that at all, okay?
Yeah. I mean, he's a me guy. And let's not forget, this is coming off in an embarrassing loss to the Steelers where you'd think it'd be like, all right, I'm going to keep my mouth shut, get in my playbook, because, one of our division rivals just swept the floor with us, So, and they got some big, they got the Raiders next week, I think. They got a lot of tough games coming up. And thanks for the good news, Stiz. Michael, I tell you, man, my Saints just can't get it to get any luck this year. I guess Michael Thomas tweaked his hamstring. Yeah. I didn't think it was his hamstring that was hurt, though. Maybe that's a different injury.
Maybe it's a different one.
But you know how it is, Coach. When you miss time and then come back, man, you got to get that body used to playing.
Right. So, and Cleveland, they'll still be just steaming away week after week, So tell me, Nick, why don't we just jump in and start with your Eagles?
Okay. All right. I mean, look, Eagles are obviously have a shot. They're favored. I don't like all the injuries. But if there's a team they can beat, it's the Giants. I mean, you know that, Coach. It's nothing. Right. It's just this team fits the Eagles good because look, we hung with the Ravens, we hung with the Steelers, two of the best defenses in the league, scored 28 plus on both those defenses, and the Giants defense isn't that great. So now they come in, but people forget that too. I think the Steelers and the Ravens came in and were marking a W in the calendar. We're playing this Eagles team. They're hurt. The Ravens were up. You said it, Coach. You thought you left and came back and said, "Oh, what happened?" Same thing with me. I turned the game off. So, and I'm an Eagles guy. I mean, I didn't want to watch it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. But yeah, I like that D-Jax is coming back. Hopefully, it's for more than 3 snaps. I think Goddard's supposed to play. Lane Johnson's going to play. That helps. And look, I mean, now they're starting to get a couple of their players back. I know Ertz is out 4 to 6 weeks, but I think the biggest thing, Coach, is going to be what Eagles defense shows up. If the Eagles defense that played in that Niners game that was just balling out shows up, then they got a chance. I mean, look, it's the Giants offense. So if your defense is struggling, there's not a better offense to come in than the Giants offense. So, look, I'm going to say Eagles in a very close game, like a field goal, maybe even less.
Okay. All right. All right, because, the Giants are bringing in a top 5 defense, believe it or not, which if you heard me speak all year, I thought it was going to be the offense scoring a lot of points and the defense.
Top 5 defense. You talking about what, by yards wise?
Total defense. They're top 5. They're 5th. I think they're 5th. They might even be 6th, but top 10. Let's put it that way. Go look it up. Okay.
I'm doing that.
All right, go look it up.
It isn't points wise. I know that.
They're a top 10 defense total defense rankings. Put it up there, and they're bringing in a defense and that has kept them in the game. Surprisingly enough, it's been the defense all week, and I think the biggest key for me for the Giants, obviously Daniel Jones, and I watching him. Daniel Jones's biggest problem, I believe, is he focuses on the number one. He does not go through his progressions. He focuses on number one and forces it. And that's where his problem is, instead of going to 2, 3, or even 4 on his progression tree. And that's the big issue with that. And if hopefully, he can work on that and get with that, he'll be fine, because he's thrown, I think 3 or 4 picks have been in the red zone this year. So as opposed to last year, they were not.
Well, their rushing game, Coach, is non-existent.
You're right.
He's their leading rusher, Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, and I'm not talking for one game. for the season.
Right, for the season. I know this. I know this. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Sorry.
With that, and we'll see what happens with the offensive line. You had the 3rd round pick who played really, really well last week in place of the 1st round pick. So we'll see how that plays out. How do you get that kid on the field right now? And we'll have to see where this plays out. But the Giants have to get a running game going. And I think they got to be more consistent at it. So we'll see how that works out. So
yeah, I mean, but honestly, to me, this is almost like a coin flip game. I believe that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Boston Scott, can he kind of get lightning in a bottle again? Because as you know, the Monday night game against the Giants last year was his breakout game. Hasn't really been that good this year. Now he hasn't got a lot of opportunities though either. I mean, they've been really letting Miles Sanders be the guy. Obviously, he's out tonight. But, man, it's with a patchwork offensive line. There's a funny video going up of the one Eagles lineman who came in, Jamon Brown. Literally one time he sacked Wentz himself. Another time he stopped blocking. Like the guy went by him and the play's still going on. He's just like sitting there looking, and it's I think it's Curb Your Enthusiasm music. So it's just like it was just that would be honestly, Stiz, that wouldn't surprise me. But I think Wentz is going to do some things tonight. I will give some things out. All right, Deshaun Jackson is over under 37.5 receiving yards. I'm going to go over on that. Okay, I think he's going to be healthy. And I think he's going to get a couple catch. Every other game that he's played a full game, he's had 45 or more yards. So I think that's a good bet. Wentz, over under 19.5 rushing yards. I'm going to go over with that. He's been running the ball more lately because he needs to do whatever it is to win with all this pressure on him. And I think Coach, man, there's nothing more demoralizing that when you're guarding the receivers and doing everything you can and some running back on a 3rd down, takes it and gets the 1st down. It sucks. I mean, I know personally on defense, it's demoralizing. So I like that as well. So over 19.5 rushing yards for Carson Wentz and over 37.5 receiving yards for Deshaun Jackson. I'm dipping my toe in Stiz's area right now because he's the prop bet guy.
Right. Yep. And also, what do you like? Do you like you take the under then? You're taking the Eagles in the under?
Yeah, I would lean that way. I mean, Giants are playing hard. Like I said, I really think the Steelers and Ravens, a lot of it was junk late scoring. I mean, look, the Eagles brought it to 2 with the Ravens and are a bad 2-point play call from Doug for tying the game. But like I said, I really believe, it's hard to not be human when you're a football player. And you see all those guys out and, you kind of don't bring your A game. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. Like I said, I'm going to say 20-17 Eagles.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Who do you got, Coach?
I have, of course, I have the Giants. I feel like they're going to put string 2 together, get a piece of 1st place tonight. And, they're going to put 2 together, but I think it's.
And their one wins by 1 point. So maybe tonight it's by 2.
23-24. Again, Giants kick a late field goal to win.
You should say 24-23, Coach, instead of 23-24.
24-23. There you go. All right. I take the Giants. I think they score 24 at least. That's what I like. I think the Giants will be they're going to come in, they're going to try to establish the run and go.
Inoculate Jr. I hope he's Ed's officiating as well. And Mike, I think it's Ralston, I want to say, was asking about the Texans. Are they a player before the trade deadline? I don't know who they would trade. I mean, you're not going to trade Watson. Right. And you look at a guy like Brandon Cooks, who they take on over Hopkins. He's getting paid good money and isn't very consistent. And then what do you got? David Johnson? He's overpaid as
Yeah.
well. Which
Right.
you put those two contracts together, and now all of a sudden DeAndre Hopkins is getting paid. So now that the guy who's pulling the strings for them, and they got no GM, so who's going to make the trades? So
Right.
yeah, I mean it's possible. I just don't. I don't see what they have that's really tradable. Do they trade J.J. Watt? I don't think they will. He's a guy who's been in Houston his whole career. Now, look, somebody might give something for a J.J. Watt because, look, if I'm the Seahawks, I give up a third-round pick, but he does have a big contract too. So, and I don't know that the contract
Yeah, but isn't this the last year of that contract too?
Well, if it is, then, Coach, it might happen. But still, what he's getting paid and his performance probably aren't matching right now.
Right. Yep. But
there he is, the old captain. Yeah, Captain.
Captain, you're way late for your fiasco, so sorry about it. We're on to other stuff, buddy. So,
yeah, but Chris Lentz said you weren't happy, and I'm sure you're not. I'm not happy. I was looking forward to seeing that game Sunday night.
Right. Now, also, I think I could see them giving up. I could see Seattle overspending to get one because they are in that win now mode.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously can't give up a first round. They already did that with Jamal, but
that's right.
But I could see them giving up a third and possibly even a second if it's that big of a deal. But I don't know that JJ's worth a second.
Right. Well, that's why I don't understand why Ngakoue they didn't make a play. Because if I'm the Vikings, and I know they're in the same conference, but who cares? The Vikings are 1-5.
Right.
They're looking at a real build. Cousins is gone. The coach is gone. Call up the Seahawks and say, hey, we got a guy you need, because that's their problem. They are the worst ranked defense in football, even worse ranked than the Cowboys, if you'd be surprised or not. Because they rank them by yardage you give up. Yeah, I mean, look, you get a guy like, they obviously missed Clowney from last year. Like I said, he has 5 sacks in 6 games. At least then you got a stud like Jamal Adams in the secondary. You got Bobby Wagner in the linebacker. They did just sign Michael Kendricks too to the practice squad, the Seahawks, the former Eagle.
Right.
Yeah, I mean he has some legal troubles, but they signed him to the practice squad, and then they also you put a stout defensive end in there.
Right. All right. Well, listen, I got my special guest, my new broadcast partner is going to be joining us. Dave, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you? Looking forward to tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still talking a little Eagles Giants. Who's your team?
I'm going to go Eagles 24-17 tonight.
Man, you want to get kicked off the show real quick, man.
I see that Giants that.
Man.
Eagles,
I went
for victory.
Yeah, I went Eagles 20-17. Now, are you an Eagles or Giants fan, or neither?
Big time Eagles fan my whole life.
Yeah, me too. So good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah,
So it's 2 against 1, Coach.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Coach, if you were a Cowboys fan, I'd be concerned. Giants.
Yeah, I can live with Giants. I'm on that. Yeah, anybody we call them cockroaches up here in Philly. I'm a Philly guy, Dave. We call them cockroaches, Cowboys fans. And,
I know.
I put up a great video. There was a Cowboys fan on the Monday night game who punched his TV. Check it out, Coach. I put it on my Facebook. He punched the TV, threw his beer at it, and then took his gun out when it was on the ground and just started shooting at the TV. And I'm just like, life as a Cowboys fan.
Sounds about right. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, and with all those issues going on down there, I wouldn't be surprised if McCarthy's one and done. And I know you said that earlier, Nick, about that. So
yeah, well, and then they got a lot of things to figure out too. You just gave Zeke $90 million, Amari Cooper $100 million. Dak sitting there saying, "Pay me," and he just got hurt. And I think they're going to have to pay him because offensively, I mean, you saw what everybody thought. Oh, the Red Rifle's going to come in. That offense is still going to be good. It didn't look too good against Arizona. So you got an owner who's way too involved. Dallas hasn't got a lot of problems. Their line's not as good as it was anymore. So
you don't even want to talk about their defense.
Yeah, exactly. and that's Dave. You took the words out of my mouth. I haven't even started with them yet.
Hey, their defense has more holes than a piece of Swiss cheese. So
yeah. You guys could maybe find one of the defense of the high school teams you broadcast and get them and go play for the Cowboys. You might have better luck.
So that brings us in. We're gonna Nick, you gonna hang out or you taking
Coach, I'll let you guys do your thing.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, Nick. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Take care.
All right, so wrong one. All right, there we go. So Dave, so for everyone, we're I don't know why the school calls me every night at the same time for some.
They're blowing you up. They're
reason.
watching.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So football's back in Delaware. Kickoff tomorrow night, 7:00. We'll be we head to the Castle in Georgetown, and for those of you who don't know, that's Sussex Central. They're the Knights. We call it the Castle. The grass there will be overgrown. We won't be able to see what brand shoe the kids are wearing, done purposely, I always say. And it's a pretty tough environment, but I don't know. We're going to have limited fans. Obviously, there's no band in the stands. So
it'll just be home team fans. They'll be ticketed. So just home team. That's all they're allowing in.
Okay, there you go. So it'll just be the home team. So basically, it's going to be like a scrimmage, a high school scrimmage. There'll be, probably a couple, usually just a small bit of small crowd and go. And speaking of that, they haven't had a scrimmage. These guys have been, had about 2.5 weeks of practice.
Yeah, that's about it. That's all.
And that's it to kind of come together. And some kids are, opted out, obviously for obvious reasons, and so you don't know what you got. We really don't know what we have.
Yeah, and as we talked about off air, that probably plays to Cape Henlopen's advantage because they're the weaker team. Maybe they can take advantage of Sussex Central being a little rusty, getting the season started, maybe keep it close. But last year it was 47-0. So if it's anything like that, we're in for a quick evening with a running clock.
Right.
We'll see.
We'll see how that goes. Cape did bring in. They've got a transfer from Pennsylvania, a big 300-pound defensive lineman, and it'll be interesting to see. They did lose who I felt was one of their top offensive linemen. Decided to opt out, not play this year, and their right tackle, big kid, who I felt like, getting another year, started football late, only had a couple of years of football in. So, he was still green and still getting, and you saw those flashes last year of wow, this kid has some potential. And I really thought, coming in that, hey, he might get some college attention, with his size, because you can't coach size and with that. So it'll be interesting with the loss of him. And but they do bring back one of their backs. They got the same quarterback, year 3, starting in D'Ambrosia, and Jaden Davis will be carrying the rock for them. So we'll see how long that can last. Is how many guys, because they did limit the roster size, so you're not going to have as many guys. The depth just isn't going to be there. So it'll be interesting to see how the coaches use that depth and how it works out.
Yeah, and Cape uses a lot of two-way players, so that might wear them thin, especially with the depth already being a little bit lower than it normally is. And as you said, same quarterback, Jaden Davis, the running back's back again, and I think he'll be a catalyst for them. But it's going to be a tough game. We'll see. Maybe it'll be a little bit closer than we think. This Golden Knights team has a lot of weapons. Last year's game, they used 10 different running backs in the game that carried the ball. So,
when you're up pretty big, I believe it was. I think they had the running clock at halftime. Maybe it was, if not the first few minutes of the third quarter. So they were able to play. I think everybody played that game. If you
just get everybody a chance. Yeah,
everybody got a chance in that game, and hopefully it'll be a little bit different this year with Cape, and it's still a learning process. This is just year 3 for Coach Maul and getting his system acclimated with these guys. And when you have a quarterback who was able to start in the beginning and now should pretty much have full command of that offense now. So we'll see if there's a few more wrinkles coming offensively. And defense, we'll see. I think they've changed up. Have a new defensive coordinator at Cape. So the defense is going to look a little bit different. You're going to see some different things. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. I can't wait for tomorrow night. Kickoff 7:00.
Yeah. We'll have a pregame at 6:30. We'll go on a little early, talk a lot about the upcoming year, and get everybody warmed up for the game, and then we'll hit the airwaves at 7, and then on Cool 102.1 we've got the Milford game as well. So we've got Milford and Cape Henlopen covered tomorrow with Forever Media radio stations.
Yeah, 105.9. That will be on 105.9 for everyone around. You go. For those of you not in the area, want to hear my beautiful voice again tomorrow night, you can. They have an app, don't they? Forever Media.
Yeah, if you go to foreverdelmarva.com, you just click on the Listen Live button under Delaware 105.9, and you'll be able to get the game streamed right there. All
right, perfect, good stuff. Should be fun and exciting. I'm looking forward to get the season started. Better late than never. So finally a full weekend of football. We have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Well, we got Thursday too. We got tonight.
And tonight, I can't forget tonight. We got with the Giants.
You might want to turn that backwards, by the way.
No, it's fine. It's that's the way I roll, man. I'm in, and just by the way, I did work for the Giants for a short time. I used to bring film to a guy named Bill Belichick. You may have heard of him.
Okay, yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, some guy, one
not
of
that bad
goals and stuff. Yeah, so.
Well, am I going to be able to talk to you tomorrow? If the Giants win, I think it's going to be. I'll find another color analyst.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fine because the Giants will be, will be
inching close to first place if they win the game.
They'll be tied with Dallas. They'll, I think, technically be a half game behind. And
you're killing me.
The Eagles, they win. They're in sole possession. That tie.
I know.
Everybody forgets how important that tie was.
But even if you look back to last year, the games were pretty close. Carson had to rescue them at the end of the year against the Giants. It's not going to be a blowout by any means.
No, the Giants are playing really good. Their defense is a top 10 defense. I it's top 5 earlier. I think it's top 10, but they're in their total defense, which I said all preseason the defense was going to be the biggest issue. I felt like the offense was going to score 30 plus points and they were going to lose, 38-35, 42-38.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden this offense can't get out of its own way. And it stems back to this offensive line that's been issues for years now.
Not good. But one thing I'll give it to him, Joe Judge has them competing every game. I mean, they're a lot more motivated than they were last year under Joe Judge. And he's a local Philly guy, right?
Yes. Joe Judge is from Philly originally. Yes. So big time.
Maybe he'll give some favoritism to the home team today.
So I'm a big fan. Love Joe Judge. First time for his first speech, I was ready to run through a wall. I was excited. Now the Giants just need to get rid of their general manager and bring somebody in, new, young, and stop.
The Eagles have a GM problem themselves. So talk radio is
yeah. And my biggest problem with Gettleman, besides his drafting ability, is he treats the fan base like we don't know football, like we're a bunch of idiots. And we need he's reading from Football for Dummies at us.
That wouldn't play well in any football town.
Exactly. And I think the Boston accent really doesn't help him at all, being in New York with the Boston accent, with how much the the hatred between New York and Boston is.
For sure. Well, we'll see. I'll either be really happy tomorrow night or dragging myself into the booth. So
So yeah, yep. We'll have to. We'll see how it goes. Might not.
I'm sure it will come up on the broadcast tomorrow night. I'm sure.
Absolutely. It'll be fun and exciting. And I'm sure you're going to hear a little bit of jawing from our studio producer Billy, who's in the studio. Yeah. He is a Bengals fan, so you got the tie with the Bengals. So
don't remind me.
You're going to hear about that tie.
Oh,
you're going to hear about the tie tomorrow night.
Oh, you're killing me. I'm getting it from everywhere.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it will be. So it'll be fun.
Maybe I can find a fellow Philadelphia fan on the way up to the booth.
I have a feeling you're not going to be too hard to find.
If they win, I'll be able to find.
Yes, exactly. So good stuff. Hopefully, this will be an every Thursday deal for the next.
Absolutely, I'd love to join.
7 or 8. Hopefully we get a couple playoff deals in there and be able to continue it a little longer. But we'll be. Every Thursday except for Thanksgiving Thursday. I think that's, I think I'll be passed out by this time, Thursday, Thanksgiving. So, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to a great year, man. Dave, I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot. And we'll see everybody, or everybody can listen to us tomorrow night. They won't be able to see us. But.
Yep. They'll hear us. So it'll be coming across the radio. It should be fun, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Coach.
Dave. All right, have a good one, man. All right. There you go. That's Dave. He'll be doing the play-by-play tomorrow night for the Sussex Central Cape and Lupin football game in Georgetown tomorrow night on 105.9. And I'll be the color guy being alongside him. So check us out. It should be fun. Professor Klein, glad you stopping by. Thank you, sir. Appreciate everyone. We're going to cut out how many snaps do I think Hurts gets? Stiz, I think we're going to see a little more of Hurts with the you all you have is Boston Scott really. So I think you're going to see him a little bit more implemented into that offense. I wouldn't be surprised, and this might be a prop bet for you. He might throw a pass tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws one. Maybe we'll see him line up in a little wildcat. Angela, let's get her plug out there. There's her YouTube plug for Life, our Raider story. They're having their deal tonight, 5 p.m., 8 o'clock tonight. So sorry, my daughter and I will be rooting on the Giants at that time, Angela, but I will definitely check it out afterwards. So anyway, I'm going to cut out, get ready, getting ready for the game tonight. Grab some dinner before the game. So I appreciate everybody checking us out and hanging out with us tonight. Stay safe and make sure Sunday, 10 a.m., we'll have Stiz with all his fantasy stuff. We'll have Stiz and Nevada Nick with his picks. So it'll be it's always fun on a Sunday. Yeah, absolutely. Stiz will be there on Sunday. Should be fun talking about a Giants victory, and it should be fun. And don't forget, yes, Captain Jack has his show on YouTube as well tonight, 9 p.m. Our time, 6 p.m. if you're on the left coast on YouTube. So you can check out Captain Jack as well. Got your plugs in there, guys. I appreciate everybody checking us out. I'm heading out. If I can just figure out these buttons here right now. So thanks for watching, and we'll see everybody on Sunday. Bye-bye.